is in Hudson, Michigan, and it was built in 1904 out of fieldstone from the surrounding fields. So I first saw this church probably in 2019, and it captured my imagination back then because, I mean, look at it. Anything could happen in this building. It's well over 100 years old, and these stones have history, you know, you can feel it. And then, by some twist of fate, I ended up moving to this town, and now we go to church here, which is really awesome because it is as beautiful on the inside as it is on the outside. We will go in and show you. Without a doubt, when you come inside, one of the first things you notice is these giant stained glass windows that are just everywhere. As it turns out, when they were building this church originally, it was actually the young girls' Sunday school classes that raised money for the windows to be added. The men were building the structure. They were pulling the fieldstone out from the surrounding fields. They had a team of Irish masons that came in and worked on the stonework. But it was the women who wanted to put in these beautiful windows. The cross at the front of the church and a lot of the woodwork that you see up there that is so beautiful was all hand done by parishioners over the years. And some of it more recently, some of it as recently as the 70s and 80s, some of it back in the early 20th century. But that was all hand carved. And then this beautiful organ was installed and just recently restored. And so we get to listen to that on Sunday mornings, which is incredible. So if you're familiar with my work, you know that a lot of it takes place in the Midwest, in small towns just like this one. And if you've ever been to a small Midwestern town, the churches there are just so much part of the community that it's impossible to write a story and not include them in some way or another. Whether it's weddings and funerals, or graduation ceremonies, all kinds of things happen in the churches because they're not only for religious worship, but really a community center that is used by all different sorts of organizations. And so a church building with a history like this one and just the gorgeous artwork and all of the just the really fantastic energy of this place really inspire me to incorporate things like that into my stories when I'm writing about small towns. Whether it is 4 ladies that have a crafting club and have a connection to a former parishioner, or whether it is a crazy vampire story where the community needs a meeting place, it often is the church.